You think you know me?
And new King of the Ring is...
He's got it! Oh my God! Edge has won the match!
I think Edge overall raised the bar for all the guys and gals in the back.
You could put his accomplishments up against anybody. It stands right up there with the best.
Edge not only has it, he's brilliant. He's the Einstein of our business.
If you ask me if I'd do it again, in a heartbeat.
Oh my! The rated R superstar! Edge is here!
Some wrestlers become legends because of championships. Some wrestlers become legends because of charisma. Others become legends because of moments that they created. But Edge, the rated R superstar, he didn't become a legend because everything went right. He became a legend because everything went wrong and he survived anyway. He went from a kid in Canada with nothing but a dream to a tag team pioneer, to one of WWE's greatest villains, to a world champion, to a man who had his entire career ripped away without warning, and then shocked the world by returning when everyone believed it was impossible. Edge's story is not just a wrestling career, it's a story of ambition, betrayal, obsession, pain, resilience, evolution, and also hope. This is the real story of Edge, the rated R superstar, the ultimate survivor in professional wrestling. Long before the rock star persona, the pyro entrances, the sunglasses, the coat, and all of the explosions, Adam Copeland was just a shy kid growing up in Orangeville, Ontario. He lived with his single mother, Judy, who worked multiple jobs just to keep the lights on. They didn't have money, they didn't have any connections, and success seemed like something that belonged to other families. But Adam, he had one thing, and that was wrestling. In that exact moment, his entire world changed when he sat in front of a small TV and watched Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 4 inside the Sky Dome. In that moment, he made a promise to himself that one day he would walk down that ramp too. At 17 years old, he wrote an essay describing his dream of becoming a professional wrestler, and that essay won him a free wrestling training session. From there, he trained under Ron Hutchinson in a cold warehouse in Toronto. With no heat, wrestling on thin mats and concrete floors. He teamed up with his best friend Jay Resso, or as you know him, Christian, traveling across Canada and sleeping in cars because they couldn't afford hotel rooms. They wrestled for tiny crowds and sometimes for just $20 or a free meal. But the word spread, and the talent could not be ignored. In 1997, WWE signed Edge, and 1 year later, he made his television debut, sprinting through the crowd with wild intensity. The fans didn't quite know it yet, but the most important chapter of his career was about to begin, and it would reshape the entire tag team division forever.
They are on the edge of exploding at any time, and look at this great move! Oh, man. And that's all of it. Edge will win his first match.
Edge and Christian began as part of the Brood alongside Gangrel, but it wasn't long before they broke out on their own. Their rivalry with the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys would change what tag team wrestling meant forever. This was the most exciting time for tag team wrestling. There was tables, ladders, chairs. There was bodies falling from 20 feet in the air. Crowds were on their feet, screaming in disbelief from the beginning of the match all the way until the end. The TLC matches at WrestleMania 2000 and WrestleMania X7, they pushed the physical limits beyond anything that fans had seen before. These three teams, they didn't just compete, they rewrote the rulebook. They sacrificed their bodies to build an entire generation of fans. Edge became known for his fearlessness, flying off the top of ladders and diving through tables. Then came the moment that is still burned into wrestling history, WrestleMania X7. Edge spearing Jeff Hardy in midair while he was hanging from the belts.
Look at Edge! Oh my God! For the love of God!
One of the most replayed spots in WWE history. But after years as tag team sensations, Edge, he wanted more. One of the wildest and most emotionally explosive stories in wrestling history, it didn't start in the ring, it started in real life. And it became the turning point that transformed Edge from a respected workhorse into one of the most hated and most compelling villains that the WWE had ever seen. In the mid-2000s, Matt Hardy and Lita were one of wrestling's biggest real-life couples, and fans loved them together. They had been dating for years and were seen as inseparable, both on screen and behind the curtain. But everything changed when Matt suffered a serious knee injury that forced him out of action for months. While Matt was recovering at home, Edge and Lita grew close while traveling on the road, where the loneliness, the long miles, and the chaotic industry that they were both in, well, it created a situation that spiraled fast. The two entered into a real-life affair, and when the truth came out, it shattered friendships, divided the locker room, and it lit the wrestling world on fire. Matt Hardy found out through text messages on Lita's phone, and the fallout was immediate. WWE management worried about a public scandal, so they released Matt Hardy from the company in April of 2005. Fans were furious, chanting "You screwed Matt" every time that Edge and Lita were on screen. Signs filled arenas, crowds booed louder than ever before, and everyone involved was suddenly at the center of the real-world chaos. But instead of burying the controversy, WWE made one of the most calculated decisions in the company history. They turned reality into a storyline. Matt Hardy was now rehired, and WWE built a feud around the betrayal, ripping open wounds in front of a global audience. The rivalry was vicious, it was emotional, and it was painfully real. Promos blurred the lines between character and real life, both men taking real verbal shots at each other. The matches were stiff, brutal, and uncomfortable to watch, and it was filled with real anger. You could see it in every punch, every expression, every crowd reaction.
But I don't think either one of these guys want to get away from each other. Out of the cage. What a right hand. What a right hand. Big time right again.
People weren't watching a storyline, they were watching two men fight for dignity, pride, and about heartbreak. At SummerSlam of 2005, Edge went over in a controversial finish, and that win symbolically cemented his new identity. Instead of trying to make fans love him, Edge, he leaned into the hate. He embraced the booze, the venom, and the chaos, and suddenly he wasn't just another talented wrestler, he became one of the most despised heels in the business.
You know, we're here, right? And that was really all you can do. It's like, okay, we're here now. You know, and also the company's wants to run with this. Well, let's try and make a good story out of this, a good program out of this. Let's try and make some money out of this.
This scandal became the catalyst that launched the rated R superstar era. The public betrayal, the raw emotional fallout, and the explosive real-life drama allowed Edge to become something wrestling desperately needed. A villain that felt real. Fans weren't booing a character, they were booing a man they believed betrayed his friend. And Edge weaponized that heat better than anyone could have ever done, turning nuclear negativity into rocket fuel for his career. Matt Hardy never fully recovered in terms of momentum at that time, while Edge skyrocketed to his first WWE Championship. The Matt Hardy, Edge, and Lita love triangle didn't just create drama, it built up a superstar. And that superstar was Edge. And from that moment on, Edge wasn't just another performer, he was the rated R superstar. The most hated man in wrestling, but at the same time, the coolest. And one of the greatest villains the sport has ever seen. And from that point on, Edge was an untouchable heel. The rated R era became one of the most significant character reinventions in wrestling history. Edge won the Money in the Bank briefcase, the first person in history to ever hold it.
And over again if he has to.
in the most despicable way possible. The crowd exploded. A new star has arrived, and the rated R superstar was now born. From that moment forward, Edge became one of the most hated villains in WWE, and fans loved every minute of it. Edge embraced being a villain like no one before him. His feud with John Cena defined the era. Their rivalry was personal, it was emotional, it was violent, and it was real. For many fans, Edge became the greatest heel of his generation. He formed alliances with Lita and with Vicky Guerrero, winning world championships after world championships. He battled The Undertaker, he battled Batista, Triple H, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, Kane, and countless others. Each one was a headline. He headlined WrestleMania and became a multi-time world champion. But behind the scenes, Edge was paying a heavy price. Years of taking dangerous bumps, especially from ladder match impacts, destroyed his body. Multiple neck injuries led to spinal fusion surgery back in 2003. Doctors told him that he was lucky to still be walking, but Edge, he refused to quit. He changed up his game, changed up the kinds of bumps that he would take, and he returned stronger. He won more championships, he built more storylines, became a great heel, and he pushed himself to the absolute limit. He became obsessed with success, obsessed with becoming the best in the company, and it cost him his physical health. Then came the moment that broke the wrestling world. It was April of 2011. Edge walked onto Monday Night Raw, and he announced that he was retiring immediately. There was no warning, there was no storyline, there was no build-up. Medical tests revealed that Edge's neck was so damaged that another bump could leave him paralyzed, or even worse. Standing in the ring in tears, he told fans, "If you asked me if I'd do it all again, absolutely, because I love this."
And I would hope I've earned the respect of everyone in that locker room, and I hope that I've earned all of your respect. I'm gonna miss all of this. All of it. If you ask me if I'd do it again, in a heartbeat.
Fans cried, wrestlers cried, the locker room saluted him. The rated R superstar was now gone, and his Hall of Fame induction just 1 year later felt like a final chapter, an ending that none of us wanted. For 9 years, Edge lived a life without wrestling. He acted in movies and TV shows, he raised his children, he healed up, not just physically, but emotionally. But deep inside, there was still a fire that he just couldn't put out. In 2018, after filming a stunt for hit TV show Vikings, Edge realized something shocking. His neck felt pretty strong. His body, it didn't break like he thought it would. He began training again secretly away from the public eye, and he was pushing himself to see if a return was even possible.
I look at that and I go, okay, I can try and paint something here that just hasn't been painted. It's a bonus. You know, if I can tell a great story for a few years and hopefully go out on my own terms, that to me is important.
Doctors told him the news that he never expected to hear. He could wrestle again. Edge kept his return completely secret, even from most of his friends and other wrestlers. Then, at the 2020 Royal Rumble, the countdown hit 0, and the explosion of emotion that followed was unlike anything that wrestling had seen in years.
No way. You gotta be kidding me. Edge is here. It's been 9 long years. Triple fusion neck surgery. McIntyre bounced off the knee of Edge and with a spear to McIntyre.
Edge stepped onto the stage, had tears in his eyes. The crowd roared louder than almost any comeback in history. For the next 4 years, Edge wrestled dream matches that many thought would never happen. He wrestled Randy Orton, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, and more. He reinvented himself again, from hero to father to storyteller to warrior, refusing to say goodbye.
I'm looking at it in different terms this time.
I got in the best shape of my life at 46 years old. Step back in here and end my career on my terms.
Then in 2023, Edge wrestled what he thought would be his final match in Toronto, in his hometown, and he thanked the world for believing in him.
Edge, thank you, fella. I love you, man.
Well, that was a hell of a night.
And just having everybody back here, my gosh, what a good time.
But his story still wasn't over. Later that year, Edge left the WWE and made another shocking move, debuting in AEW as Adam Copeland. Wrestling under his real name for the first time. And once again, he reinvented himself. Not for money, not for drama, but because he wanted to end his career on his own terms. He still had that desire, and he wasn't gonna stop anytime soon. Edge became the rarest thing in wrestling. A man who controlled his story instead of becoming a victim of it.
Always trying to give the fans more.
And the passion, he really draws you in.
I was in awe watching him. He was someone that was willing to risk it all to entertain.
He's like the rock star of WWE.
Edge's career is not the story of a perfect hero. It's the story of a man who fought through pain, doubt, controversy, injuries, heartbreak, and fear. And he refused to stay down. He transformed tag team wrestling, became one of the greatest villains in the history of the company. He survived a career-ending injury. He experienced the greatest comeback in wrestling history. And today, he is a symbol of perseverance. Edge proved that the dream doesn't end until you say it ends. So now, the question goes over to your court, guys. Where does Edge rank among the greatest wrestlers of all time? Is he top 10, top 5, top 3? Where is he? Guys, comment down below. I want to know exactly what you think about the Rated R Superstar. And also, guys, give this video a like, share it out to all of your friends, and don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss more content like this. And guys, there is another video popping up on the screen right now. Check it out. And guys, I'm Ty, and I will catch you on the next one.